I am the Director of Football in FM24, so I'm playing with no tactics, no training, no team talks, and no team selection. From Tier 6 all the way to the Premier League, that is my goal, and we are doing things the Moneyball way. So here I am in my humble surroundings at Hemel Hempstead Football Club, and I have 10 rules of Moneyball to follow. We will not get in debt on our way up the divisions. The aim here is to follow a sustainable financial model, and hopefully one that sets an example all the way up to the Premier League. Of course, it's massively ambitious. I might fall flat on my face, but who cares? That'll be fun for you to watch. So, rule 1, always improve the weakest area of your team first. Now, in my case at Hemel Hempstead, that is definitely right midfield. We currently have Daniel Powell as our only natural right-sided midfielder. He's a fringe player. He is on £400 a week, which actually makes him the joint third highest paid player at the football club. He would be a leading player in the division below, but he's not going to get any better, though this is an area that definitely needs work. We do have some other potential options in the squad, though. George Williams is competent on the right side of midfield. Terrell Whitaker is unconvincing. I think Miles Judd is good enough to be converted, but it's not my call, remember. I'm playing as the Director of Football, though those decisions will be down to Sam Cox, our incoming assistant manager. Who will he choose on the right of midfield when he joins? Well, I need to make his decision a little bit easier. And not just on the right of midfield, because rule 2 of Moneyball is improve defence before attack. Clean sheets are worth a lot of points, my friends, so I need very solid defenders. They also tend to be cheaper than attacking players, so it's a good place to invest in the future of the team. Currently, I only have one left back, Josh Williams. Miles Judd is actually a higher caliber left back. He is competent in that role, so perhaps Cox would choose Judd on the left and Mackenzie on the right. But I can't take the chance. Left back is definitely another position I have to strengthen. I only have 3 centre-backs at the club as well, so that's potentially a position that needs an extra backup, and I've only got 1 goalkeeper. 3 positions there in which I need to invest my very limited budget. Rule 3 of Moneyball, don't buy strikers, because they're massively overpriced, and thankfully at Hemel Hempstead I absolutely don't need to, because for some reason the previous manager has massively overstocked in this position. 7 players who are all naturals up front. One of those, Alfie Matthews, is currently our first choice left winger though, and you know what? I see this straight away as an opportunity to move a couple of players on and free up some extra wage budget. But do I need to bring anybody in? Because rule 4, promote from within before making transfers. This is a fairly thin squad, 20 people as things stand, so I'm going to look straight in my development centre. We have 4 players, one of whom is a striker on loan from Ipswich with incredibly high potential but very limited current ability. Spot my confusion again at the previous management. But we do have 2 players here who could potentially plug some of those gaps. Sam Carman is only 18 years old, but he does play as a left-sided defender. Definitely moving him to the senior squad, along with James Taylor, our 16-year-old goalkeeper, just to make sure that we have a backup option in both of those positions. That makes for a 22-man squad, but it is spectacularly unbalanced. Time to find some new players then. But where do we need to find them? Well, rule 5 of Moneyball is shop outside the usual markets for new players. Now, as a start, that basically means lower reputation leagues than the one you're currently playing in. I am, of course, at Hemel Hempstead in the National League South. There is no further down that I can set up my scouting range for, but we will absolutely be adjusting that as we climb our way up the football pyramid, because we will pick up plenty of Moneyball bargains from the free transfer market, especially those players who have a low reputation themselves. So if you look at our scouted players on my very first day in the job, John Leslie Smith here can play in the centre of defence, which is a position we know we are looking at. Looks like he could be a very good option. 3-star current ability, 5-star potential. Unfortunately, he would also come with a couple of issues. He dreads playing in big matches, which is a huge concern, because at this level I consider most matches we play in will probably be pretty significant, and he is really lacking in some of the club DNA attributes, particularly determination and teamwork, so I'm ruling him out straight away. Alex Winter though might be an option, and we can also take a look at the general player search and have a look at the transfer list. Plenty of quality players in here who will be on sale for a fraction of their actual market value. But Rule 6 will stop me going completely crazy. I can only spend a transfer fee on players aged 25 and under who have played a decent amount of first team football. So millions of pounds on a high potential wonder kid who's never played a match in their life is definitely not going to be happening for this Director of Moneyball. I mean, look, we've got £42,000 in the bank balance at the moment. If I'm going to spend any of that money, it will have to be on somebody with decent resale value. We can sort by age and start having a look at them. And you know what? Players short of their peak age are often cheaper as well. So for that reason, I won't be considering a transfer fee for Danny Greenslade, even though he is a left wing back who looks like, for the most part, he would fit the attributes that I'm prioritising at this club. Dan Wishart can play on the left, but there's no way I'm paying £4,000 for him. But that doesn't mean I can't sign anyone above 25, because Rule 7 stipulates that anyone aged 26 or more can only be signed on a free transfer. Think Brighton, basically, and how they picked up players like Welbeck, Lallana, and most recently James Milner. I can bring more experienced players into the club to plug that gap, but I just can't pay a premium to do it. So with that in mind, I'm going to ask my scouts to have a look at players like Liam Dolman, Shane Dunn, and CJ Fern, to wait for them to come back and discover their quality. So that's all of the rules for incoming transfers here at Hemel Hempstead. What about Moneyball outgoings? Well, Rule 8 is sell players at their peak age to maximise the value of any sale. And we have 5 players at the moment who kind of fit that bill. Daniel Powell, who we spoke about earlier, is our first choice right winger at the moment, so we won't let him go just yet. Josh Hill, Reece Grant, George Williams and Bilal Sayoud are potential players we could let go, and I'm immediately drawn to Reece Grant. He is our 6th choice striker. We are blessed with options up front, and we could certainly do with that £400 a week back in the wage budget. So we will pop Reece on the transfer list. I'm sorry, my friend, to have to do this as one of my first actions on the first day, and we will see what comes of this piece of potential business. And Rule 9. Rule 9 is the scary one. I have to, as a true moneyballer, sell any player at all whenever I receive an offer above their market value. So let's have a look, for example, at Terrell Whitaker. Best player in our team, either attacking midfield on the right or up front, but if any club offers us £46,000, he is gone. So expect that rule to terrify me for the remainder of FM24. And lastly, Rule 10, new to this season of the Director of Moneyball, I must make a net transfer profit every single season. We might well see this wage expenditure go up, that's absolutely fine, but before I can even think about spending any money on upgrading that right wing position, I've got to bring a whole load of money in first. So let's set up our first recruitment focus for that right wing position. Any role will do. Transfers only, because loans will not bring us a profit. I do not want to be developing other clubs' players. And this one, very much a top priority. Who will be our first signing at Hemel Hempstead, my friends? Will Reece Grant be the first player to leave, or will we see another outgoing? And if Sam Cox doesn't join us after all, what on earth am I going to do? Subscribe to the channel and turn your notifications on to find out in the next episode. And if you want more awesome FM content, have a look right there. There's a great video just waiting for you to watch. I'm Kirk Sheridan. Be excellent to each other.